We started running Fighting Words workshops about 3 years ago, and I had volunteered with Fighting Words myself before Fighting Words came to Cork, and I kind of got an insight into how the program worked. And I kind of found that all you needed was an empty room and some goodwill and some sound adults in the room, and to get the word out to schools and children that this was available to them, and they came. And when children come into graffiti then, and they have an experience like taking part in a Fighting Words workshop, there's a lot of joy in it, and there's a lot of crack in it. And once that experience happens, and the teachers come in as well, and they see the building, and they see that there's a designated space for children in the city to be creative. And that's an important thing to say. You know, that's a flag to fly, that there's a value here. It's not something superfluous. It is fun, but it's not just a bit of fun. And so the teachers come in and they see this is a centre. Everyone's taking this seriously. Everyone is taking this fun very seriously. And then within graffiti, the teachers know we can come back and we can see a play with the children. And a gorgeous thing happens when a group comes in and does a Fighting Words workshop, and they come back a couple of weeks later and they see a play. Because I can talk to them, or one of my colleagues can talk to them before the play starts, and we can say to the children, it's great to have a bunch of writers in here, because you'll really appreciate this, because you've created stories yourselves. And you're removing that separation between the artist on the stage and the child in the audience who is an artist themselves, and you're taking away that. I suppose the first point, as a young teacher, I was a young teacher myself a couple of years ago, and I suppose you have to look out for opportunities. But when you're introduced to an opportunity, say, I found out about Fighting Words by attending a literary festival. So that's part of my life. You know, I go to theatre, I go to film festivals, I go to poetry readings, I do that. I try and let that stuff in, you know. And I think if you are open to that, if you are, you know, seeing what's happening around you in the arts, the information becomes very accessible, you know. So wherever you are in your local arts centre, in your local theatre, you'll see what's happening, and most theatres and most art centres have really good outreach programmes now. And part of the remit of an art centre is to serve its youngest citizens as well. So art centres are reaching out to children from birth to 18 to build their audience, but also their funding is for all of the citizens in the country, and children are very important citizens within that. So I think if you're lost, the first point of contact would be a local art centre, a local theatre. You know, then you have Fighting Words as an organisation, you've Graffiti as an organisation, you've the Arc in Dublin, you've Branner in Galway, you've there are children's festivals. So the information is there, and I think you find that the people working in the sector want to share the information. You know, they want to let you know of the work that they're doing. So that's a real access point.